Hello, Namaste, Sasrikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. We are gathered here once again to discuss about a very, very important topic, that is qualities of a good school or successful school. So because it is the 21st century and edtech technology-based schools have come now with the help of artificial intelligence. So many new things have come into this. We need to discuss. We discuss about this in this season. Without taking any time, I'll introduce you to the very first eminent guest present here, although we have guests from all the parts of the country. So the first eminent guest is Dr. Vinaya Sawant, ma'am. She is the principal of Indian Prindarshini School, Bangalore. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to the show. It's our pleasure that you have come over here. Please let us know about yourself, your educational journey. Did you came into this profession by chance or by choice? And how did you rose from a teacher to a principal in such a prestigious institution?
Thank you, Chandok sir, for a warm welcome. Yes, I would just go straight to the point without taking much time here. Uh, this profession is, of course, by choice and not by chance. And it's been a long journey. I started in 1993 when I was very small. My journey completed like almost 25 years in education sector and still continues and looking forward to still continue it because learning is something which is my passion. And this passion, I want to give it to others, probably to the major sector. So I always thought that the best place where we can give the learning, and that is a school. So that since that journey started since in 1993, and in 2022 we are here. So yes, I started in a very small school which I visited just 2 days back during my visit to Mumbai in one of the summit and as a speaker there. So it was in Binder Jessel Park in Mumbai, and then I just continued my studies, and along with the studies I was teaching, and then the journey from getting degree to a bachelorate in education in English and maths as my major subject, and in masters in economics, and then I did my global perspective GP as in a Cambridge because it was a new subject. So as I said, learning is always a passion for me, so continue to do that. And recently awarded a doctorate in philosophy of education, and I still believe because I still am learning. So learning is something which kept me in this sector, and being in this sector from teacher to coordinator to an headmistress to a academic CPD, like kind of school excellence manager, and here as a principal, and still a long goal to go. Just want to spread this one message to everybody that the change word itself is never constant, and it's an end result of all the true learning. So let's just adapt and accept this change as much as possible, and give this change in a better way to people, and serve across the country, to the students and as well as to the teaching fraternity or to the educators. So whatever, as you said, whatever we have, it's always better to give. So when you give, you learn more. So maybe we are all in the same goal, and that's why we all are sharing this wonderful platform here. And in spite of distance, which should never matter, like this would some years back, I think we educators would have never dreamt about being like this connected to each other. But very thankful to pandemic. uh, People are more acceptable to online portals and things like this, and we are able to see people, we are able to do the learning in spite of setting such a far place. So thank you for having me this evening.
My
It's
my pleasure,
wonderful
ma'am.
having
My
you.
pleasure, ma'am. My pleasure, ma'am. And thank you so much for coming, ma'am. Next one, we have Dhawan Kumar, sir. He is the principal of Redcliffe Group of Schools, Batinda. That's in Punjab. Welcome, Dhawan, sir, once again after a long time to the show once again. And happy to see you here. Sir, people will like to know, and congratulations, first of all, for changing your institution and coming up to a chain of schools, which is branded schools, I think, in India and all over the world also. Sir, please let us know about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chandok sir, and good evening, all the great personalities, those who are in this meeting, as virtually we are meeting to each other. So since 2003, I'm into this profession, and obviously I choose this profession because teaching is my passion. So I love to teach since 2012, I'm into this profession as a principal. So I have completed my 10 years as a principal. So I taught in many of the schools. A few of them, they were a residential school. And then right now I'm working. It is a great opportunity for me to work in a Redcliffe group of schools. It is, the chain school, and it is, the number one chain school in India. Actually, we people. I should not say it's a chain of school. I should say it is the chain of research centers actually, as it is child centered. So we are working on the future India which is sitting in our classrooms actually. We don't know which one is the Sachin Tendulkar or the Abdul Kalam ji sitting on the next the desk. So as far as concerned to my hobbies, listening music and reading books is my hobby. And yes, of course, meeting new people and learning, as already ma'am said, like learning never ends. So life always keep teaching to us, so we are keep learning. And yes, of course, thanks to the COVID, like as virtually we met to many people, we all together, like you see the changes after 2 years after the COVID. So we are knowing to many of them, many of us. Virtually we are knowing to many of us actually. So this is what about me and thank you so much. It is, I think it is about 1 year when we met on the same platform last year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much, sir.
much.
Thank you so much for coming, sir. Uh, Next, we have Seema Sehajpal, ma'am. She is a principal of a very prestigious institution in Jaipur, that is Dharav High School. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for Seema, ma'am, for coming. And this is also the first time you have come to the show. Please let us know about your educational journey.
Thank you so much. First of all, for having me here, for inviting me. It's such a pleasure to be a part of such a wonderful, group of people discussing about how schools should move forward. As far as my educational journey is concerned, I was born in an army family. So I moved from one station to the other and did my education from different schools. But then, and yes, I joined education out of choice completely because I started my career in the corporate sector. For the first couple of years, in fact, about 10, 12 years, I was in the corporate sector. And then when my son started going to school, and I got involved into his education journey, I felt that this is where my heart lies. And then I joined the school in which he was going, and gradually over the years, this happened. I've also worked with an organization called I Discover, I Exceed. So it runs its flagship in various schools, and that is where I got the maximum exposure into how schools function and what are the drawbacks. So I've seen the inside story of very big schools, chain of schools. I've traveled all over India, and that's when I realized that now I need to start not something of my own actually, but a school which I can run according to the vision and according to the experience that I've collected over the years. Thank you.
That's amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing your time and coming up to the show. Hope to have a good time over here. Next, we have Dr. Vandana Mahajan, ma'am. She is the principal of Dayanand International Public School, Pathankot, Punjab. Welcome, Vandana, ma'am. Happy to see you after a long time. And
Same here, sir.
I hope almost the same time, 1 year after 1 year, you are coming up to the show once again.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me once again here.
My
So,
pleasure, ma'am. You people had been lucky for me because 1 year, the first year you started, the second year you're starting again. You people are over here, and I'm blessed to know people like you, all you and Dhawan sir and all of you, because this is because of all of you that I am getting success in the show, and because I had been going to many sessions and talk shows and everything. I didn't found it very fruitful. So 1 year back, it came into my mind to start up a show where I should go up with the relevant topics related to the education. So the different seasons we are coming up is because of the blessings of God and the support of all the administrators like you all. Vanda ma'am, thank you so much for coming. Please let us know about yourself, ma'am, to the people. Everybody would
uh,
like to know about you.
Yes, sir. First of all, a very thank you to you, sir. I started my education journey back in 2005 as a teacher in a college. Also, I worked as assistant professor, then HOD, then even as a director. Now I'm working as a principal. As I got married in a very small town that is Deenanagar in Punjab. So it was very good. The feeling was very nice to be a part of education there because I feel that was the place where I could give and share something which I know, a bit that I know. So otherwise, my hobbies are not much, but I like listening to music and talking with people like you is the most basic thing which I love to do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Next, we have Ashwani Pansari, ma'am. She is the principal of Bal Seva English Medium School, Pune. Welcome, Ashwani, ma'am. It's nice to connect with you. Thank you so much for coming. Ma'am, you also please let us know about your educational journey.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Good evening, all of you. First of all, I would like to thank you and my heartful thanks to Chandak sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And really lots of blessings to all dear principals for putting up such a wonderful information. I started my journey since 2008 in the teaching field. During my age is 21 only. And I became a principal in July 2017, 5 years ago. I wanted to quit every day. 3 years ago, I cried most morning on my way to work last year. I began to feel tiny bit of purpose through a chaos. But today I can honestly say that I love my job. I love the kids. I love funny families. I really love my staff. And we do good things, hard things, things that matter. So when I realized that leadership without a sense of humor and finding the joy in play makes you grouchy. So 4 years later, I still love what I do and I still have a fun, laugh, and do the silly things even under difficult circumstances in challenging times and unpredictable demands, unprecedented demands.
Right.
And yes, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. And this was also a challenging time during pandemic, also which we have cleared up, and now so we can take up any challenge for sure. We are unrecognized Corona warriors. Also, we had been warriors all the time, but we have never been recognized because we are making the future of the country. Thank you so much, ma'am, and welcome, ma'am. Next, we have a very pleasing personality, Mr. Harshpal Khurana. He is the founder and MD of TAP School. Because we know after pandemic, the only positive thing about the pandemic was that this technology came into being. And with that had to come 10 years afterwards, I think, not more than that also. And the children during these 2 years, they have become so much ed tech, technology tech, based that we also had to move from that. We had seen that so many old teachers who are reluctant and didn't wanted to shift towards this shift we had for the technology based, and everybody had. And now we can see that technology is not going to go back. It is going to remain. And maybe after a few years, we will not the children will not be using any notebooks or books. They'll be having a tablet and they will be studying from that only. Although the role of the teachers will always remain over there, this technology will remain as a tool. But technology is going to rise more and more as the time will pass on for sure. So I meant, let me formally introduce Harshpal sir. Harshpal Khurana sir is an edtech entrepreneur and founder of TAP School, a premium startup that provides all type of solutions to education institutions and organizations. TAP schools are currently implemented, or I mean, in large number of schools in India. Talking about him, frankly, he has a very wonderful thing with him. When I met him in one of the episode, one of the session I was attending along with him, I came to know about his TAP school. So he told me everything about what actually it is. It is a A to Z solution. A छोटे packet में बड़ा धमाका type of solution for the schools. We are talking in the other seasons also about the different subjects. We had talked about reading also, if you remember, Dhawan sir and Vandana ma'am. We had talked about reading. We have talked about language learning. We have talked about the school admissions. We have talked about mathematics, the phobia It is comes between the middle schoolers. We're talking about that also. And this new topic I got through Harshpal sir only, inspired from him only. That we remember that school office is the heart of the school. Everything has to be managed from there also. So there are n number of things apart from teaching also that are also needed for a proper system of the school. So I came to him and came to know about tap school, what things they are doing, ERP solutions, or educational solution. So we have I'd asked him also questions that so many people are coming to us with ERP solutions. Everybody has started up with ERP solutions. What's different than that? So he told me elaborately about all the things which is happening, because the safety of the data is also very important when we are talking about all these things. So I'll come up to Ashpal sir. Ashpal sir, you have a wonderful experience of more than 2 decades experience, so much experience you have in this industry, and you started up with a very different thing. Although there are many people into it, but a very different thing you have come into this. Please let us know about yourself. How did it came into your mind to start up a, this, product like Tap School, and a project like Tap School, actually, I'll say. And what is this actually from A to Z? Over to you, sir.
So, being now in 2 decades in edtech, not in edtech, sorry, in technology, because I started off journey back in 2005 was my first job, and in the last company, I got this opportunity to visit and interact with people, especially students and people in rural areas. So this is how I saw education very closely, because when you're traveling to smaller towns of the country, you get to see a lot of schools, apparently, especially schools in the rural areas, and you interact within the school premises as well. So when you are, the curve was to start something for the rural areas, but over the period of time we realized there are certain gaps, there are certain pain points which every school is facing. Like any school which is in the urban area is facing certain different point, and we also realized that there are numerous softwares with one thing that is unique in that software, and that is why the school ends up buying the entire software. So what happens is that they're using just one feature and they're not using the 10 other features because they like this one feature. So it is best to have something, all of it combined, number one. Number two, our main motive at the start, in the inception of the this organization, was to make classrooms digital, interactive, and engaging. Because the moment student experience the content, it retains the content. Like I'll just quote here a movie, Drishyam. I don't know how many of you've seen it. So it says, "Jitna aap experience karte ho, aap learn karte ho, utna aap retain karte ho." So the idea was to give the experience of the content of the knowledge so that you retain and ultimately you pass through examinations. So that was one of the key points when we came on the table and thought of having a product like that. And the most important point was that, okay, this is the classroom, this is where we're going to make digital learning and everything, but at the same time there is an administration department also. There is a front desk, there's a library, there is so many things that are happening within the school that needs to be automated, not digitized. Digitalization is not there. We want to make it automation. Automation means you add a data, it flows through various departments and gives you the precise information that you need. So that is important. So automation is very important because it reduces the teacher's workload. It reduces the workload of the principal, every person that is in, and they, so that they can focus on more important. Like when we talk about teachers, teachers are supposed to teach. They are not supposed to, manage other things. But then again, we need certain automation systems where they can just do an entry once and then the whole data takes over. The entire system should take over. So keeping all these things in mind, we created a product. We started off with digitalization of the classroom learning and combining and creating an ecosystem within the classroom. But then we realized, oh, you need to have information flowing towards parents also. They should also get the reports. We should need an information flowing towards teachers also, so that they can pinpoint the assessment part, not just the assessment part, but also the behavior. Because in the more recent times, right before the pandemic in 2019, we encountered certain instances where students are going under certain kind of problems because they were facing some problems at home. So that behavioral issue is also, because we as a human beings are not mind readers, but sometimes data also reflect the behavioral issues. So that also needs to be pinpointed out and taken it into consideration, and obviously informed to the parent and all the stakeholders that are there for a child. So keeping that or everything in mind, and obviously security, we got cyber security, and Chandok sir and I have always talked about security before also. So security also, keeping that in mind. So that was the entire, journey for me for to create this entire product from A to Z solution. So there's it. You can say, for as if I say it was a chance or a choice, I wouldn't say neither, because it was given to me by the nature, because it was handed over to me that go ahead and do it. I never felt like it was a choice that I made, or it was a chance. It was something that was handed to me, and I took it and I just started creating it. And I'm since a long time I'm doing it, and I don't feel like that I have worked even a single day in my life, because I enjoy creating products. So that's what I really like to do.
So you remember that quotation, do a work you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. So
Yes.
that is what we are loving. We are loving kids, and we are going to the school, whatever, stress we have in our mind, looking at the kids, that goes away, especially with the pre-primary, when you see that tiny tot, that small ones. So your stress goes away. So that is good, sir, because we see that many schools, they are struggling up with all these things. Still struggling up with all these things. They don't have ERP system, why it is needed. Matlab, these systems, why they are needed, but how they get, some when you use that, you come to know how useful it was, how useful it is, that it brings down the burden, manpower, the burden of the teachers and the managing people also in the office also, as well as it also become gives smartness to the teachers also and staff also, for sure. Thank you so much, Harpal sir. We'll further like to know things from you, but later part of the session. We'll come up to the next part, which will be a suggestion round and not call it as a question round. I'll come up to Vinay ma'am. Vinay ma'am will come up to you first. We'd like to know your views on the saying that how has blended learning helped children to grow in a better way?
Thank you, sir. Yes, blended learning. This word is like now into our life, education system. Of course, it was there before, but it had a complete different scenario. If 2 years back, if somebody would have asked me about blended learning, we would have just said that, okay, we are integrating some subjects and art and craft. Of course, yes, which we are doing throughout, we're doing throughout our journey in the school. But today, if you ask me blended learning, it has a complete different meaning, that how I can have two goals in one shot. So it's like good for the students, it is good for the school as well. So it has a great access. When I say blended learning, my children are able to do a better outcome. And in case if they have a problem, like say for example, now what we are doing a blended learning from different states. We are meeting so many people and we are getting exchange of learning. So the same way, blended learning, millions of people sitting across, as Harshpal Singh just said that he has this TAP school, and how there are so many different schools who have come up that even staying at home, in spite of different scenarios and situations, you can still continue your learning. So for me today, the blended learning is not only in-person education, but also an education which has both online, open door, closed door. Otherwise, it was only being like, okay, I can do the learning only when I'm inside the school. So you can see that post-pandemic and during pandemic, thankfully, I should say that this is a boon. Pandemic was a boon for education sector, though it was very difficult for the initial period. But today we have got so much of we are armed. Actually, I really say, I can say we are armed. We are armed with technology which we can use for the betterment of our children. It's an easy and access for my students, because the students can grasp the concepts very nicely. Now 5 years back, when I was telling my teachers that let's go for a smart board and let's give them, what the children, because as sir said, when you see something you learn much faster. Same as with the children, when you show them something, you give them some videos, you give them some visualization, the learning happens much faster and it remains there for a longer period of time. So that learning continues even beyond the four walls. Like if we have also heard about LMS which has come, so one of the best example of blended learning. So how we are doing only the lessons in the class, but after the class lesson the child can go home, the child can open an LMS and child can see what is that lesson. Maybe not the own teacher, but there also technology has come on to that extent that even a teacher can record some of her videos or some of her important notes or something, and the child can go take the classroom beyond the four walls. So that's one of the
Absolutely right.
very much big plus for blended learning. Another thing I feel is personalized attentions. Yes, we always see for personalized attention only in person, but I think no, with lot of technology around, I think personalized attention can be given everywhere. So the child's issue, the smallest to smallest things can be mapped up when it comes to digital and personal learning. There are several things in blended learning. One more which I can say is they are now not only the teachers but also the students are self-equipped with lot of technological things. So it's only for us, as we always say, that it's not that we can replace the teacher. Nothing can replace the teacher physically, but when we are giving them something in technology where we try to blend that learning with our regular learning or the same style which we used to do something, they are becoming more self-driven, they are becoming more responsible. They're trying, we can actually make them think more, and we can bring certain different creativity and other insights where which can lead into several collaborations. Like again, another good example of a blended learning, or a good point of blended learning is collaboration. Sitting here, I can have a classroom in Seema ma'am's school, and thus we exchange the ideas. Say for example, we have one classroom and I am doing one particular topic and we ask them. So we do that kind of experiments in our school. So where the children from our school and also gets connected to other school, maybe in the same country or other country.
Absolutely
There is
right, ma'am.
also one more, yeah, there's
Yes,
also
ma'am.
one
Yeah,
more
yeah, please.
the technology has helped us, like Microsoft, or you say Google Classroom Meet, or you say Zoom. Every technology has helped us to connect and to learn more and more thing. And earlier, for feedbacks or to talk to the parents, we need to wait. We had to wait for the PTM, we had to wait for the parent to come to the school, or then the parent would have given us some kind of reason that I'm not. But now it has become very, very easy, that this blended learning has really made us easy. So we are just giving you the link, sir. Join wherever you are. Whether you are in the whether you are in the city, you are not in the city. We need you for your child, and we just need your 5 minutes. Join it from your mobile, and I'm sure that after all this, every parent is able to, everyone is into technology after the
You're absolutely
pandemic.
right, ma'am. Technology, as you are saying, we can understand that technology has helped a lot. Like I'll give you example, a current example only. Since last night it was raining, and without technology, it would have been a rainy day. But the classes were shifted to the online classes today. So
Yes.
that is, learning will not stop. The child can study because there are so many things. I had a word with Harshpal sir about Tap School. So he told me out there are certain things, not only that it will go online only. It will be like that the teachers can check what is the, progress of the children also, with the subjects
Yes.
also, and what thing they are lacking, what they are not lacking, all the things they are involved in that. You are able to do good to the kids with all these things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
these things are so inexpensive, and they are so, cost wise they are cheap, that every school is able to afford now, because so many things have come into. Gradually it is in the market. When the new thing comes, it is very expensive. Like many big companies came, but I won't name that. They come up with heavy amounts of that. You have to pay for that, and you're going for the classes, online classes and all. But now so many things have come up into being that it is so inexpensive, and it is so good that they're giving all these things. So this is also very important when we are talking about online or blended learning also. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
We'll come up to Dhawan Kumar sir. Dhawan Kumar sir, we would also like to know your views on the saying that how has blended learning helped the students to grow in a better way. Sir, you're on mute.
Yeah, of course, sir. It is 21st century, and our children are not. I would say like they are the smart students, and they are the Android students, and of course they must be updated because see, after every week or 15 days, we are updating our WhatsApp or the Facebook applications. So why not our children? So they are not based on only black and white books and paper, pen paper learning. So of course, blended learning it comes and they change a huge. Why? Because earlier nobody was knowing like how to teach online, but this pandemic it taught to us like how to be on the same platform where teachers and students are coming into the learning teaching and learning process. And of course the blended learning is good where see if I'll talk about the trip as suppose we want to go for a trip. So during the pandemic, as we are going for the virtual trips, we are arranging the virtual trip for the children as they are learning, they are visiting, and sightseeing they are having through the online classes only, as we are organizing it. So of course it is 21st century, and in 21st century, the blended learning is the most important the tool for the children. Why? Because they are the 21st century children. So they require it. Thank you.
Absolutely right, sir. You are absolutely right. They are the students. We are technology migrant, but they are technology resident. So we are trying to go to learn
Yeah.
from them right now. We learn from them only. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable views. We'll come up to Seema ma'am. Seema ma'am, we'd like to know your views on the saying that update and upgradation of children is an important aspect of school.
Yes, of course. I mean, I think that's our core job as educators, that we train the children for the needs of the hour, because the world is changing at a very rapid speed, right? And if we do not equip our children with those capabilities, with what is the need of the hour and how to deal with the situation, the current situation, then we are not doing justice to the job that we've taken. Right. So, I mean, in fact, all of us are very grateful to the pandemic, especially the education sector, because it gave us the push which was required since years now. Technology has come into play, but unfortunately, somehow it was not coming into the school scenario. And now, yes, after the pandemic, all of us are on that platform, and the children, parents, everybody. So like there was that kind of a distance which ma'am mentioned, that if you had to have a PTM, or let's say if you're supposed to organize an extra class for a child, how do you do that? There the parent comes into picture, and if it's a working parent, how will the parent come and drop the child? How do you arrange for the transportation? All those things were such big issues. But now, in case if you want to give that additional support, all you need to do is share a link, and the child is there with the teacher. Right. So yes, extremely important that we teach them to be ready for school. See, a child who's in nursery today is going to face the world around 14, 15 years down the line. What are the changes? As schools, as educators, as leaders of schools, we should know exactly how the world is changing, and we bring that thing into the classroom so that the children are also ready. So when they step out in the world, they are ready with the knowledge. They know exactly what is expected out of them, and they should do that accordingly. Right. Another thing, of course, other than technology, I also feel that as schools, we should try and bridge that gap which is happening between education and how the society is functioning. Because
Right.
despite people being educated, what we see around us, the country getting divided on the basis of religion, things like that, all this wastage that is happening around, poverty which is there, I feel that it is our job to make sure that we sensitize the children to this also. Other than technology, this is also the need, where children have to be sensitive towards each other, towards the needs of each other, be helpful, be kind. That is one thing which somewhere has gone missing. I remember when we were in school, we used to have moral lessons, and we don't have that anymore in schools. Nobody's teaching that. So we need to focus on those things also. All of this will come in, yes, technology, smart schools, smart classrooms, and all of those things will come in. There are companies which will come and push us and say that, this is the latest thing, why don't you do this? And we would want to try that out. But one thing for which no one will push us is to make sure that our children learn the right values in school. So it has to be, make them future ready with technology, as well as with the sensitivity of being a human being.
Right, and absolutely right, ma'am. You're absolutely right. Everybody is talking about coming to the school, talking about the facilities, the co-curricular activities they are providing, but they are not asking that do you teach values.
Yeah.
Nobody is asking for that, and that is the thing which has to be taken care of for sure, because that is disappearing as the time is passing. That values are going away, vanishing away. Thank you so much, Seema ma'am. Ashwini ma'am, will come up to you. Ma'am, we will also like to know your views on the saying that update and upgradation of children is an important aspect of school.
Yes, sir. See, yes, school is a place where students, teacher, and parents can intermingle with each other. Because students don't need a perfect teacher; they just need a happy teacher. Because likewise, we always saying that alone I can say, but together we can celebrate. Alone I can talk, but together we can enjoy. So means in a school, the student's intention is behind every decision of school, they will get a greatest power instead of parents. Because in school, students are too much exciting to come in school. And for update and upgradation, students are the good judge. Students are the good judge of teachers. And when these all the practices came to students from highly recommended teachers, so students can grasp only when their mindset become change, because everything depends on mindset. And only apart from parents, only the school is a place where we can change their mindset, because we already seen since pandemic that continuously since 2 years 24/7 smartphones are in their hand, so they know everything. So it totally matters a school atmosphere, correct? No, means why school play an important role to change the students, because students only when grasp something when they want from their inbuilt, means when they decide from their unconscious mind. So when they grasp self, when they grasp from school, upgrade themselves from inside. So I think if you are carrying a hope, it can change the atmosphere. So everything depends upon a teacher, not only teacher, but leader, because leader only can change the atmosphere in school. And these all the practices should be empathetic, patient, calm, and accepting and non-judgmental. Because
Right.
as Swami Vivekananda said that education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. So only we need to give a shape to students, then they can upgrade themselves. So that's why school is a place.
Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am. Uh, Wonderful you said, ma'am. I'll come up to ma'am, Vanda ma'am. Vanda ma'am, we like to ask your next question. How has technology helped the schools to, get their work systematic and easy? Ma'am, you're on mute.
As sir, everybody was giving their suggestions. Obviously, the technology has proven as a boon for everyone. But I personally, in my opinion, where because I'm working in a very school which is in a very remote area, where even the education was not possible. I think almost 10 years back. So still, we are striving to educate number of students there. But due to technology, I feel that we are able to bring those students who are not even getting education properly to a level where in school we could just make them interact with these students of different schools, maybe in India or outside India. Different training process could be taking online. So, and even as Harshpal sir was saying, there are many tab schools where we get number of things they provide us when they come to our office, that you're going to get a number of list of things that they'll provide you. But I personally feel that if we upgrade a school in a manner, because every school is having different kind of requirements. Maybe I'm sitting into a small town, I need different things for my students. So but technology definitely has developed my students of school, like they were feeling very demoralized when they used to go to big places and interact with these students, because their parents were also not aware that how to make them, give them that exposure that is required these days. So definitely technology has, in my views, played a very vital and important role. And as everybody was discussing that in pandemic we were able to teach them. But I was not that blessed, because the area where my school is, we are having a lot of issues of network. But still we were able to manage and teach them and channelize them in that hard time where the students were sitting back home for 2 years. So I would say that actually technology has blessed everyone throughout the town, but it is a real blessing for the areas like where the education level is not that good.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Thank you so much. And Harshpal sir, you came to know about all the things. Vandana ma'am also just now told that there are, different needs according to the place, according to the area. Might be in a very big city, also might be in a remote area, also might be in a village, also. So Harshpal sir, we want to know as an expert, first of all, do you want to say anything about what the speakers have said as an expert, technology-based expert actually? And let us know that how, I mean, like Vanda ma'am had put up a very good question that each school has different demand. So that is what flexibility you have in that also. Over to you, sir.
So, firstly, the thing with TAP School is where we understand your pain points. So, every education institution which is out there in India is facing some problem or the other, whether it is in the urban, whether it is in metropolitan city, whether it's in rural area. So, they are always, and the problems are unique, right? So, first thing what my entire team does is understanding of the pain points and making sure that those things are available in the software. And even if they are not available, we customize it for them, because if we are not solving the problem, then why are we implementing the technology in the first place? So first thing is that. So that is why we always, the first thing you would probably hear from my guys whom everybody says it's a sales executive, but I always tell them it's a consultant, because he's going to call you and says, मैम आपकी प्रॉब्लम क्या है, पहले ये बताए, फिर उसके बाद हम आगे बात करेंगे. So that's the first line that they ask. They don't say we have tab school, we have software, please buy it. Obviously that does not make any sense. So what is the problem that you're facing, and then we'll figure out a solution for it. Number one. Number two, as Vandana ma'am said, I have personally visited places like that where internet is an issue, where infrastructure is an issue. To be very frank, and at that point of time when I was researching on remote areas, there is something called P2P internet. I mean, most of the people don't know about it. So P2P internet came into existence. That is peer-to-peer internet. And that came into existence during the Hong Kong protests back in the day when Hong Kong pro-democracy protest was happening. So that time this internet came into existence, that if one person in the whole village or in one person has the internet, will share the internet with the rest of the people. So you're sharing the internet for the rest, and similarly the entire village suddenly has the internet. So that was the amazing thing about technology. So we also more recently started working on an IoT device based on that. So you have this IoT device, which is inside the school, your devices are connected to it, and we are launching it. Currently we are piloting out with few schools, but we are launching that in the month of August. We will be having this IoT device which you can keep in school. Internet is there, not there, your devices will work. So that is how we are going ahead with it, because we know there is a problem in the rural areas, there is a problem in the hilly areas. Many places there are problem in India still, despite having internet penetrated into every each and every corner of the country. So number two, so this is how we are working. So as far as blended models are concerned, which all panelists have said that there is blended models of learning. So when we talk about blended models, I have more seen only one type of model of learning, and that is through face-to-face, through Zoom and through video conferencing, which is being implemented popularly. Not many schools are implementing like flipped learning. They're not implementing enriched virtual model, or even rotational model is there, but these two models which give maximum number of results, which is flipped learning and the enriched virtual model, many schools are not implementing. Even today also they're not implementing. It's not about pandemic. When we talk about flipped learning, it's not about pandemic, because flipped learning is started back in 2008, right? So it has been going on since then. It's just that pandemic has accelerated the entire process of blended learning models in India, that okay, now we need to adopt it. So one is that. Another reason of blended learning models being popular, or in future they are going to be popular, is because of the economy. So that is a very different debate, but we do have to consider that our education system is linked to with the economy. Right? When it started, it was linked with the manufacturing economy. Then it came into service economy, and now we are going into this economy which is known as gig economy. So where everybody is going to be there, like I have said before, there are no permanent hires and no permanent fires. So this is how our education model also works. Obviously, it will evolve from time to time. Obviously, it will take time. If you pick up national education policy, which has come into place 2020, you'll find certain things which are made according to the new type of courses, not just in technology. They have introduced courses for fashion. They have to introduce courses for finance, computer, refrigeration, so on and so forth. So many of those courses they have introduced. So it is because of that, because we want students to be, one, creative, two, very motivated, self-motivated, and they can work remotely from anywhere in the world. The future of the world is that. So it is all related to that. So everything that we also do, when we have our own research department also, we keep on researching, keep on seeing, okay, how can we improve our products? So our major reason is, number one, interacting with the principals and the teachers. Two is to know how the world is moving and to taking it towards that side. So taking our products to that side. Like more recently in India, there is something that talk about mental health also. That is very important part. So we are now taking it very seriously. We want to know what is going on in the student's mind. I mean, we all are teachers. We as and I am also an entrepreneur. I may be facing some kind of a mental health issue, which I also don't know. So this is also very important part, and we are working towards that also. We're bringing those products. We're innovating those, bringing those innovation into our products. So to inform not teachers as well as parents that what is your kid doing, what is your kid is your child is he well enough, what kind of, and obviously there is this new thing, new, I wouldn't say it's new, but I would say it's new for me, because when I used to study, it was not there. It is there as, psychometric tests, what is good. Yes, there are so many counseling based where you want to aptitude test, where they want to measure which course or which line is good for the kid, which how much success would it reach out to, or the student would go. So I think those things don't. I think it's good. You should know about your aptitude, and all the IITs and NEET and all are based on aptitude tests. Only we get admission in that base of that. But at the same time, we need to. Everything needs to be addressed through technology. It's not technology, like I've always said in before this also, in the same show also, I've said that technology is an enabler. It is not going to replace the teachers or the anybody. It is going to enable the teachers for the better and effective teaching. That is what we are going to do. And today's teacher has a tough job at hand, because they have to bring the best of the students. They don't have to teach them, frankly speaking, because I know people, I know kids around in my family, बोलते ये तो मैम ने नहीं पढ़ाया, ये तो हमने इंटरनेट से पढ़ लिया. So that is there, that they can always learn from the internet. But what we have to do, that like Seema ma'am was saying, the moral lessons, the values, the today, in today's world, we have this polarization all the time. There are people who are for and against. So that is also there. And I always recommend to any kid who is around me, I used to tell that my favorite NCRT based animated song was Ek Chidiya Anek Chidiya, and you should watch that. That was, I still switch it on YouTube and watch at least once or twice a week. And it has nothing to do with my job as such, but you should watch that. So everything is there, but technology needs to be there also for, number one, easing out all the pain points, learning to be what you call effective and efficient, and to map out how student is progressing, because at the end of the day, we all want to know how well the student is progressing. That's there, and that's what we do actually.
Absolutely right, sir. Within 2 lines, we can say that earlier, when the child was coming to the school for say 6 hours, that what the child is doing inside the school, parent was not knowing that. But now, with the help of these several technologies, the parents is also knowing what the teacher is or what the child is doing inside the school, how much progress he is doing. Please get mentally satisfaction for that. And schools which adopt these type of technologies, suppose we talk about Vanda ma'am schools, if this is an interior part, if these type of technology has been used, so this will reflect the reputation of the school for sure. Okay, how this, because in the market it says when you want to grow, you have to be innovative, you have to show the things differently. So when these things are over there, they show that this school is much better than other schools. Education is being, for the subjects, is being given everywhere in each and every school. But how you're different, how you are using technology and these type of things, this satisfies the parents also on the mental level. And parents are the best people who recommend others also to take admission in these type of schools, where हमको पता है हमारा बच्चा किस समय कहाँ पे है, क्या पढ़ रहा है, कैसे कर रहा है, कैसे फॉर्म कर रहा है. एक मिनट की हमको जानकारी, हमको 6 महीने बाद, 4 महीने बाद रिजल्ट में नहीं पता चलता कि उसके रिजल्ट क्या है, खराब हो गया. So that can be taken care of. And this is what the parent needs, that that this service, this after sales service, what you say in market, that after taking admission, how much these type of facilities the parent is getting in the school, that is much more important. And this good also, that the parents also, they you can bring in the parents together, because many a time it happens कि हमने school में admission करा दिया, अब school की responsibility है कुछ करने की. That thing goes out of mind, because parent also knows that child, where is the child is lacking, the support of the parent is also needed. So this burden is also shift to little bit to parents also, because जिससे कि ताली दोनों हाथ से बजती है, with the teachers and with the help of the parents only we can do the progress to the students also. That is why these type of things which have come up are very important for the schools. And if we are starting it alone in a city or a place, so that will also bring about the reputation of the school also for sure. Thank you so much, Harpal sir, for your views and your beautiful tap school also. We'll come up to the next round, and because of shortage of time, we'll be needing a short answer, 60 seconds answer, please. We'll come up to Vinaya ma'am. Vinaya ma'am, over to you. We will like to know your views on the saying that safety of the children is the most important or the priority of the school.
Thank you. I'll try to manage the 60 seconds and keep up with that. Yes, safety, I'll just lay down the points. Yeah, very, very important. Safe. It is like without it, the school is not there. So as we all, as educators and the leaders of the school, we all know that one thing we have to do is regularly keep updating our safety plans as per what is the scenario and the situations which are coming. Of course, people like Harshpal Singh and many such companies will help us, and they have really come up with very wonderful things which can moderate, check and do things. Then also making everybody aware in the school about the school safety policies. Many a time the policies are there, but their own staff, sometimes the own security guard or an aya or a teacher also do not know the full safety. So make it a point that every year you do induction when the new teacher comes, so that the safety policies are people are aware in the school. Every stakeholder, not only the one who is working, but parents, students, everyone, maybe provide them a regular parent orientation, which is a possible way that we can share our safety plans with them. Provide a school safety teacher training. I'm very happy and blessed that NEP has come up with this something called as very, very importantly, that without, like, we in Karnataka, we couldn't get our RR if our safety plans are not in a place. But earlier it was not like that. Anybody and everybody just go, and every year, even if your anything is incomplete, you were able to get RR by different means. But they have come on very, very strict with things like if there is a fire safety thing, hydrant inside in your school, only then you get an RR. And I'm thankful that yes, not only that fire safety hydrant, but along with that, the training of the teacher and the staff is also being asked. So that's one thing, organize, because when we do this kind of training, we also need to organize a small school safety team, which can help. Now, this team can only not be safety. Now, this is completely an emergency response plan kind of thing. So these are the most 5 important school safety tips. And another important safety tips, which I would just like to put across in this forum, that is something which even Seema ma'am spoke, Harshpal sir thought and told, and also comes in NEP, and that is called as physical and mental health of the child. That is one of the important safety aspect of a school. I feel as an educator, after this pandemic, we need to really look into this. And yes, we were learning this in our time as a moral science period, or values which was taught. So SEL is something which is kind of applications of these knowledges to our kids will help them out. And psychometric test, yes, I truly believe, because we are associated with Healthy Kid, and I am sure that last year, post pandemic, when we came back to the school, and when my kids came back to the school, and then after just 2 months, when I got associated with Healthy Kids, and when they came here and they did a psychometric test with my grade 1 and grade 8 children, I just did it with 2 classes initially. This year I did it for all the class. This helps us as an educator to plan our lesson plans when we know what where my kids are. And we didn't do it only for our students, but we also did it for a staff. That doing it for the staff was a learning for me, because I was able to understand that are my policies safe, are my policies giving mental health needs. So very importantly, school safety, I think we have to start thinking about mental wellness, mental health, and not only physical safety, but mental health and mental wellness is very, very important, because that is something which I feel most of our people lacked during the pandemic. We had seen so much of cases where people gave up their life, people gave up the hope of living during the pandemic. Now, this was one of the reason behind this, was we were not taught how to face challenges. I think I was able to complete in 60
Yes, ma'am, for
seconds.
sure. No, ma'am,
Thank you.
it was many 60 seconds, but fine. It was
Sorry.
wonderful. It was wonderful listening to you, ma'am. Don't need to say sorry, ma'am. We are in shortage of time, then only I said that. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Seema, ma'am. Seema ma'am, we would like to know your views on the saying that as an administrator of the school, we had to see that the office should be well and properly organized with proper system.
Yes, absolutely. Because see, unless and until we have systems and processes in place, we will not be able to bring the team together. Because usually what happens is, there's a lot of comparison. There are things, why did I have to do this? Why did this person not do that? Or why was this issue, addressed in this particular manner here? It wasn't addressed that way with this person. So if we have a clarity, that this is the system that we follow, this is the protocol that has to be followed, there is no confusion. And that is exactly what happens with the children also. And of course, when it comes to safety, security things, if we do not have a system and if we do not follow that system religiously, then there can be mishaps, there can be problems. So, and of course, the school office plays a very clear role there. Because whatever we do here trickles down the line, and then everybody starts following what we do. Right. And systems and processes clarity. See, when we're dealing with parents, we're dealing with children, and especially there are children who are, maybe there's a person who's diabetic, right? And if we don't have a records clear, if the student file is not updated, what is the latest status of their child? What is the doctor's number? If all of those things are not there, then, if there is a need, we might fall flat on our faces. So, for any organization for that matter, and especially schools, because we're dealing with little babies and with children and so many, and so many sensitive parents to deal with, the importance of this coming from the office is way beyond what we would do otherwise in some other scenario. Again, like we're all talking about the mental health here. See, just talking about it and, just saying that we are concerned about it is one thing, but actually making sure that the school is genuinely a happy space for the teachers and the students. Otherwise, just talking about it would not make sense. So that responsibility also is on our shoulders, that we genuinely create a happy space where learning is happy. It's not just, you're supposed to do this. Most of the times we're just so academically oriented. Our focus is on this. Most of the schools advertise, this much percentage in this particular class, without thinking too much about how a child who's not maybe doing that well would feel about it, right? So the office plays an immense role in creating that atmosphere in the school, in creating, supporting, and of course, bringing forth the right values and the right systems which can be followed to ensure everybody's well-being there.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much, Seema ma'am, for your valuable views. We'll come up to Ashwani ma'am. Ashwani ma'am, you please, in precise 60 seconds, please let your views on the saying that as an administrator of the school, we need to see that office should be properly and well organized.
Yes, sir. Absolutely right. Because everything is depend on school office. Means office matters. Because work efficiency, the excitement, then activity, some positivity, positive attitude, growth, everything matters on system. Because on the basis of system only the organization can develop. As per the Peter Drucker, we know that the PODSCOP, that planning, organizing, directing, stuffing, coordination, redirecting, and budgeting. So this overall management rules depends on the school system, not a school system, but office system. So each and every organization, the system is important, because if the office is healthy, the school becomes a happy. And almost everywhere, parents mob, then other guests or other persons also, other peoples also looking towards the school organization, school office, infrastructure facilities. Even though just sir explained that the infrastructure doesn't matter, that quality matters. Correct, no? Teaching quality matters. But nowadays, means most probably in CBSE affiliated schools, most probably the parents firstly look towards the school office, school infrastructure. Then they want to admit their child in the school, because obviously after the observation of office they can just get an idea what is the overall atmosphere in the school, that how the system performs, because everything coming up to system only. Likewise, we
Right.
always saying that administrative staff is the backbone of school. So if admins are excited in their work, in their work, so then only they can change the overall atmosphere of school. So
Right.
I think office should be well and properly organized with a proper system.
Right, ma'am. Right, ma'am. You're absolutely right, Ashwini, ma'am. Because parents, when they come up for the admission, even for the first time, that first impression is the last impression goes on with the
Yes.
school office only, and at the very same time internally only. Also, if the things are not properly organized in office, the school will not be able to work properly. Although office is not given very, weightage inside the school. When we talk about different things, we don't talk about office also. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you,
giving your
sir.
valuable views. We'll come up to Vandana ma'am. Vandana ma'am, we like to know views on the saying that all-round development of child is only possible when effective steps are taken towards children growth. Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yes, sir, I completely believe what you're saying because, as all of the principals have discussed, because I won't take much of time, I also believe that in just physical teaching would not make the student stand in this kind of a world. We should much more focus on their cognitive and even their moral value teaching, and they should be mentally strong because these days we are teaching but mentally the students are not that sound and strong. So these are the areas we should work upon as educationists rather just them giving them physical lectures and asking them to read only the subject matter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Wonderful and a precise answer you gave for your topic. Thank you so much. Harshpal sir, we'll come up to you, you as an expert now. You have been hearing that how how is this, TAP school also helping for properly organizing of the office also and the development? How can we see the development of the children also? So how it is helping?
So for the office management, obviously everybody knows that there is a something called school management systems are there, and we also have that. In that, every department is with the twist that it's not just a ledger or you would just enter a data for your. It is the automation, so that each report is there, from students attendance to teachers attendance to payroll systems to library reports to, I have somewhere around 24 reports inside ERP systems, and again individually, and then you can combine each of those. So that kind of flexibility that we have, like 24 reports of tests, there is attendance, there is other types of various reports that we have. One thing is that another thing that we have for the school, sorry, admin part is the accounts. That is again very important part for any organization, not just for the school, I would say. Accounts is one system that is there. We have for the ERP, which is there. It's quite a detailed one as well. So we have that. I still remember when I used to go to school, we used to have a diary, and we used to, teacher used to write that, okay, please call your parent. Now it's more about SMSs and WhatsApps being sent to parents as to what your child is doing in the school. Another one of the most important analytic that we have created is the regarding when you send somebody a PPT file. For example, a teacher has sent a PPT file to the student over the LMS or over the ERP, because our ERP is linked with the LMS. I mean, if you are opting for LMS, you can easily link it with the LMS, because LMS is again a full-blown software. So if you are linking and you have sent an PPT, so how much did that student open the PPT? That is the first analytic that you're going to receive. And how much time did they spend on one slide is what you get. So it's quite detailed in that sense of how much student is actually reading, so that they don't make an excuse कि मैम मुझे तो मिला नहीं, PPT. So that is the way, because I believe when I was designing the product, I went and sat into the students' shoes. कि मैं कितने बहाने मार सकता हूँ of not doing the things, because apparently when kids are there in school, we have to think of, and we are innovating, we have to think about the naughtiest kid that is there in the school. So that is how we started thinking how to go about it. And so second part of the question was, can you repeat?
Yeah, yes, sir. We were talking about that how the system works. It helps the parents also. It helps the children also, and the working of the office also. We talked about.
Yeah, office, and you were the other part of the question was in sense of new courses and skill-based courses,
Yeah.
or that is there. Yes, so we have that as well. We have, like, for example, the first and foremost thing is that in more recent when you pick up NEP, that is, they have introduced Python, just because of the AI and ML being the next programming thing. So that I have introduced to the students. That is what we have. Apart from that, we cannot say that every student will be excelling in Python, right? So they have different interests. For example, somebody would have drawing, somebody have guitar. Language is one of the things that everybody would that is there. So like French, Spanish, you want to learn. Then we have certain other, yoga is one of those things that you can opt for. You want to do yoga, and then you can further learn about yoga. Like, for example, certain asanas that you're doing, what does that actually mean? So these are for students of the higher education, like class 11th and 12th. They can learn and they can be further, use those skills for being employed. So these are the things that we keep on introducing. We see currently it's not just the innovation, it's also a lot of things are happening in the education space from the government's end also. It's not just that we are doing it. It's that a lot of things are happening from the government's end, and they create this huge space where we come in and try to fill that. So this is what we are trying to do. We are addressing, like I've just said, we are addressing the places where internet is not available. We are addressing, and more now we had an assessment tool where subjective type questions were being also measured by AI. But subjective type questions are again subjective, right? They give a feedback to teacher to further evaluate. They evaluate, the systems evaluate on their own also, but then they give this to the teacher as well to further evaluate. So these are the things that we have introduced. These are the things that I still remember one of the early adopters during COVID. One of the teachers said, I want to take my kid to Taj Mahal and show it. I can't do it in COVID. I said, why you can't do it? Just go into our content builder tools. There is a 360-degree virtual tour. Put a Taj Mahal image and add some information and just take them over there. And we help them. That's the what we did with them. We help them out. I mean, training is very much part of our system, where we understand that teachers are not technical. They are not supposed to be technical. They are supposed to be teaching. So we train them. We train them on about daily basis for 15 to 20 days as to how we can and they can always reach out to us that, okay, I'm facing such issue and please help us out. So we do that. So this is what we have done with the entire ecosystem. So always anybody asks me, what is Tap School? I said, it's an ecosystem. We are bringing everything to schools, and we are trying to understand their problems and fixing them. So this is what, because every school has their, like ma'am said, that every school has a very unique set of problems, and those need to be sorted out. So that's what we are doing right now.
That's great, Harshpal sir. But I think that if somebody asks me what is Tap School, so I'll say Tap School is how to convert your hard work into smart work.
So you can say that. You can say that.
Yeah, the slogan can be for Tap School should be now as of I've heard and understood is how to convert your hard work into smart work. Thank you so much, Harshpal sir. You have brought up a wonderful thing for the education field. And as an expert, you have given a lot of experience to us also, that these things are, because we never thought that if the child is studying something, we'll be able to know how much he has taken in. If he's reading something, how much time he has read that, how much time he has seen that. So a child cannot fool like that. Like we were discussing, that a child is taking a book from library for 1 week, returning it back. Oh, you have read? Yes, I have read it. He's read or not. This AI based things, they tell that how much he has read even. So thanks to the technology and thanks to the people like you that who have brought up these products to the school, where we can improve the education level of the children. We are also developing the, we are also polishing the teachers along with these type of things, as well as we are improving the results also. So that is a very good thing which has come into, and it is being welcomed by all the schools, all the parents also. Then they are ready to spend for that. Thank you so much, Harpal sir, for a valuable views and the valuable product also, good product also. Coming up to the last part of the session, which Vandana ma'am and Dhawan sir, you also don't remember, and not knowing that we part up with the this show with a very good note, with a 2 lines of song with from everyone. The theme of the show is that before leaving, you have to sing 2 lines, and we'll give a benefit to Vandana ma'am and Dhawan sir that they can sing at the end, and the newcomers will come for the first time. They will have to sing first. So why not we start up with Seema ma'am? You can sing any family song, religious song, or patriotic song, or regional song. Anything will
This is
do.
absolutely unfair. You did not give us a head on.
Ma'am, this is a
I am
surprise.
horrible at singing.
See, this is a me time. The last 5 to 10 minutes are me time in the show when we are parting up with each other. Of course, I'll share up the contact details with each of you so that you should know each other. We should get contact with each other and know each other for a long time, not for only for a show only. And at the very same time, we should have me time also. And this is the time for the last 5 10 minutes. We should have a me time where we should remember that we had got together and we had a very beautiful time. When you move somewhere, you go for a vacation somewhere. Coming back, you feel good about that. Oh, we enjoyed that thing also and that thing also. So this is also you will enjoy when you will, remember after the show when the recording will reach you and all the people. Seema ma'am, I think there is some. So so Seema ma'am got some technical problem. She'll be coming back. She can't leave that. She's an administrator. By that time, ma'am, Vinaya ma'am, you can start that.
As Seema ma'am said, this is so unfair. We were not told, not prepared.
We are getting very good singers from this show, and we are going to start up one more show with the singing competition only. Especially, we are talking to the Indian Idol to start up with a show where only the educationists or the principals will come, and there have been
Chandok
many.
sir, yeah. Let us as you know, Vandana ma'am and me were at the last. So let us be first. We will be the first.
Oh,
So
very good.
then the other can be the motivator and
Very good,
inspire,
very
so they
good.
can do sing. No,
That's like a good leader, sir. Sir, so Dhawan sir will start up with you, sir.
no, ladies first. Vandana madam.
Sir, you have won a tie also,
Yeah,
sir. You are a gentleman, sir.
yeah. Chaliye, let
Be
us
a
start.
gentleman.
Yeah. हंसते हंसते कट जाए रस्ते, जिंदगी यूं ही चलती रहे, बदलेंगे ना हम, I don't know, like जिंदगी चाहे बदलती रहे. So yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful, sir. You started
This is
up.
what the first time, Sarjit sir. It's a surprise, and yeah, of course, it was surprise. So you were not ready to sing. So over to Vanna, madam.
I'm
Right.
sorry, there was some problem with the network. You all must
No
be
problem.
wondering if they vanished because of the
Yeah.
song.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. See, the principals are genies. They can do anything. I regard principals as genies. They can do anything, and they're always having a smiling face. Whatever pain they are having inside, but they'll
Yeah.
always have a smiling face with all the stakeholders. I said there's a technical glitch. My ma'am might be coming back.
Okay.
Hima ma'am.
Okay, do I have to continue the same song?
No, ma'am, not same
No.
song, ma'am. Not
Did I-
same song. That will be a cheating. The papers cannot be one from the same paper.
different question, different
Different
answer.
answers should be given, ma'am.
All right. So there's a prayer which is very close to my heart, and I completely believe in it. Maybe I'll just sing that. It's हमको मन की शक्ति देना. हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन में जय करें, दूसरों की जैसे पहले खुद को जय करें. Sorry, I'm horrible, but this is really close to my heart because I believe that it's us first, and then we.
Ma'am, it was good, ma'am. You are going to the quarterfinals. You're going to the quarterfinals of the show.
Wonderful.
Good job,
Wonderful.
Seema ma'am.
Thank you.
Ashwani ma'am, will you now to you, ma'am. Original song.
Okay, sir.
So, do you speak Kannada or Tamil? What language you are speaking? I mean, you use.
No, sir. I also sing a prayer, sir. I like this prayer. It's a Hindu Christian worship song.
Okay.
Not a song, but prayer. Prayer come song. Okay. 2-4 lines I know. तेरी आराधना करूं, तेरी आराधना करूं, पाप क्षमा कर जीवन दे दे, दया की याचना करूं, तेरी आराधना करूं. पक्षी भी करते हैं तेरी प्रशंसा, पक्षी भी करते हैं तेरी प्रशंसा, हर पल सुनाते हैं आनंद का राज, हर पल सुनाते हैं आनंद का राज. पाप क्षमा कर जीवन दे दे, दया की याचना करूं, तेरी आराधना करूं. Thank you,
Wonderful,
sir.
Ashwani ma'am. Wonderful.
So good singers we have in our fraternity. You see, genies, they can do anything. We are principals, we can do
Actually, sir.
anything. Vinaya ma'am will come up
Thank you
with.
so much, both of you, sir.
Vinaya
Thank
ma'am.
you. I would just say this parting song. Actually, this is very close to my heart because whenever we meet, as sir said that I always like to meet people. But when it is time to go back, this song keeps running in my mind. And same as for everybody, for the wonderful people out here for making this evening very beautiful. चलते चलते मेरे ये गीत याद रखना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. रोते हंसते बस यूं ही तुम गुनगुनाते रहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना, कभी अलविदा ना कहना. Thank you. Sorry for that.
Wonderful,
Very
wonderful,
good.
ma'am.
Wonderful.
We are going to the
Wonderful.
semi-final, ma'am, for sure.
Yeah.
Vanda ma'am, your turn, ma'am.
So get ready for the pain now.
No problem, ma'am. No problem, ma'am.
यूं ही कट जाएगा सफर साथ चलने से, कि मंजिल आएगी नजर साथ चलने से. बस sir, that much.
Oh, nice. Really
Very nice. Very nice, Vandana ma'am.
That's
you,
great,
sir.
ma'am. That's
Good
great.
job. Good job.
Harsh Pal, sir. What about a
Hmm.
try, sir? To you also.
I am very bad at singing.
That will gradually improve, sir, by the sessions. You keep on going, you will improve for sure.
Yeah.
If you want that we should talk to you after the show also, so you will have to, that is a compulsion that you have to sing a song.
More recently, I came across this song, or not song, I would say. It's a kind of a prayer in Urdu. And I think it's a beautiful prayer. And everybody should at least listen. I'll sing only 1 or 2 lines of that. And it's called Lag Pe Aati Hai Dua. So I'll sing that only. So लब पे आती है दुआ बन के तमन्ना मेरी, जिंदगी शम्मा की सूरत हो खुदाया मेरी, लब पे आती है दुआ बन के तमन्ना मेरी. That's it. I'll just.
Good job, Harshpal Singh.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You did your homework, sir. You
Yeah.
did your homework because you were knowing you did your homework. There was
Yeah.
a surprise test for others, but that was a
Mm.
good homework, sir. That's great. Had a, had a wonderful time with all of you. Thank you, Dhawan sir. Thank you, Vinaya ma'am. Thank you, Vanda ma'am, Ashwini ma'am, Seema ma'am, and Ashpal sir. I hope you had a wonderful time. And how the
Yes, we
time passed
indeed
away, I
had.
didn't
Sure,
know.
sir.
We are, sir.
Yes.
We
Hope to
had a
see you in
wonderful
another
time.
season.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much,
you
sir.
so much, sir.
Thank you,
Hope you
sir.
had a
It's
good time.
really a
Hope to see
wonderful
you.
experience.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hope to see you another season, another episode for sure, very soon. Okay, bye bye.
Yes, so
Definitely.
that now
Bye bye to
while
all.
we know
Thank
the
you.
end surprise, we know the end surprise test,
Yeah,
so we'll be fully prepared for it.
So we will be prepared in
right,
advance.
sir, right, sir, right, sir. Thank you so
It
much.
was
Thank you
really
so much.
meeting, wonderful meeting everyone, educators out there. Please be in touch. Thank you,
Sure,
everybody. Have a
I'll
great
share the
evening.
contact details with each other of you within.
Thank you.
We
Thank you, sir.
require.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye to all.
Bye.